Então, já pega o caderno, já peguei tudo aí. Então, nós vamos desenhar com oficial. Ainda nem é o mago. Eu acabei de desenhar. Ih, gente, e não é o que eu acho que eu faço. Sim. Alex, no seu campo. Eu posso realmente fazer oi. Olha aqui. Nada. Ih, gente. Tem que dar uma pausa que eu errei, gente. Errei. Não, gente, tem que aumentar, porque não isso aqui. Só vai.
I'll put a dot. Okay.
Estão tudo em inglês, tá?
Up. Alright, just above the eye. And I'm going to do a reverse curve to come down just over that eyeball. Okay, and from here, I'm just going to draw a line going up. And then I'll curve a line going up here to it gets a little bit thicker at the top. And then I'm going to come down and join up with that line, with that little point there. Okay, let's go ahead and color that eyebrow in.
Tem que dar uma pausa de novo. Pinta aí, gente. Ai, gente. Pinta aí, gente. Dá uma pausinha aí, gente. Muita paciência, gente. Dá uma pausinha aí, ó. E pinta aqui, então vai pintando. Não, eu pintei. Mas eu vou.
Okay, let's move to the other side. Okay, and then from here, just above the eye, I'm going to draw a curve up. Okay, and then I'm going to curve it out just a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to curve this line up and curve it out just a little bit. And then I'm going to connect these 2 points in an angle. Okay, so there's a little angle there. And let's color that eyebrow in. There you go. Okay, so now let's get into the side profile of this face. So from this point here, I'm going to come straight down towards that point at the corner of the eye, but I'm not going to touch it, okay? And come out a little bit. Alright? And then from this point, I'm just going to do a curve going around the cheek. And then I'm going to do a reverse curve to a point in his chin. So his chin will be probably somewhere around here. So I'll put a point here, and I'll do a curved line going to that chin. Alright? Let's go up to the mustache. So just below that nose, I'm just going to draw a curve, an upward curve. Okay? And then from here, I'm going to curve down. Same with this side, I'm going to curve down. Okay, so there's his beard. Alright, so now I'm going to just try to match up his chin here with that point. Okay, so there's his chin. Now because his beard is dark, I'm just going to color as I go. Okay, so I'm going to draw a line just below this line at the same curved line, angle. And I'm going to color that in. And this just makes it a little bit easier to figure out the distances and the shapes. So let's go down on one side and color that in. Again, on the opposite side, we'll go in and color that in. Okay, so now that we have the mustache and the sides, it's got this little, this goatee. So before I do that, I'm just going to put in his mouth. So let's go in a curve that goes up and then down. Okay? Then below here, I'm just going to draw a little curved line to indicate the bottom of his lip. Now from here, I can go in and draw in a curve that goes up to that bottom lip, and I'll curve out to this side as well. So let's go ahead and color that in. Okay. That's looking pretty good. Alright. Now if I'm going too fast, you can always pause, get caught up, and then come back to it, okay? So there's his face, okay? He's got some pretty intense cheekbones here, so I'm just going to draw a curved line like that. Okay, so it's almost like a mirror of this side, okay? Let's go up to the top. He's got this hood on, so let's go ahead and put a point just about here, okay? And from this point, I'm going to curve around that eyebrow and then come down to about here, okay? And from here, I'm going to come across the body, or across the face, okay? And I'm going to stop right about here, okay? The other side, I'm going to come across, and I'm going to come around the head, all right? I'm going to kick it back out again, okay? And then I'm going to come in toward the head, okay? Now let's go ahead and draw the rest of the head in here. So his forehead kind of comes in at an angle, kind of like that, all right? Okay, let's draw the rest of the hood. So from this point, it kind of gets out a little bit bigger. So I'm going to come around, get a little bit wider here, come straight down, and then I'll kick it out a little bit. And I'm going to come back in and join that point right there. Alright? Okay, so now let's get into the front of this cloak. So from this point, I'm just going to come straight down on both sides. Okay? You can go in a little bit of an angle if you'd like. And then on this side here, let's draw the shoulder. So let's come out. Okay? And then I'm going to curve around the shoulder line, just like that. Alright? And from here, I'm just going to come down a little bit and draw a straight line that goes out towards his elbow. And then I'm going to curve around just like that. Okay? And then from here, I'm going to curve the forearm in. And then from this point, I'm just going to do the wrist is. So I'm just going to draw a line here. Okay? And move up a little bit and draw another line for his wristband. Okay? And then from this point, I'm just going to draw a straight line just to finish off that bicep. Okay. Now I'm going to have him in a knuckle pose. So he's actually got his hands on his hips. So basically, it's sort of like a very basic fist. So his thumb's tucked in, his fingers are tucked in. Don't really get to see much of the fingers. Okay. Now let's get into the rest of the other side here. Let's start up here, and I'm going to curve around, just like that, okay? Towards that shoulder. And then at this point, I'm just going to come across towards, alright? But there is a thick line that kind of comes across and follows this line, okay? On both sides, actually. So I'm going to come down on both sides, just like that, okay? Now let's get into this arm. So from here, I'm just going to curve up like that, okay? An upward curve, okay? And then from here, just the same thickness as the wrist, I'm going to come down, okay? And I'm going to curve around, right? Because there's a second layer of his coat, okay? Let's put in his two curves like this that go up. So his hand is open and he's holding a flame. So I'm going to show you how to draw a really easy flame, okay? So let's start down here at the, draw a little point. This is where the origin of the flame is. I'm going to come up and I'll flick it out, okay? Do the exact same thing on this side. Okay, you can make it a little bit lower. Okay, I'm going to come down, all right? And then I'm going to go back up like this with an S shape. And from this point, I'm going to curl up a little bit higher. Okay, I'm going to come back and kind of do another reverse S, and I'll join that point right there. So there's our flame. Let's draw another little bit of flame bit. So I'm just going to draw an S, and then an S just to, like, basically two S's sort of merge together. Okay. All right, let's get into the belt. So here I'm just going to draw a basic square. Okay. Right on left, right of center, I'm going to draw a basic square. Side and draw it a little bit thicker, just like this. Okay. Now on either side, I'm just going to come down a little bit and draw a line that goes straight out, and this maybe that can finish off this belt area. Okay. And then just below, at the bottom line here, I'm just going to come up a little bit and draw the exact same thing. Okay. With this belt, I'm just going to tuck that behind that hand. All right. Now, if I imagine this coat line coming straight down, I'm going to come down and follow straight behind this belt, okay? And then I'm going to curve this around, and then put a straight line back behind that hand, okay? I'm going to do the same thing here, so I'm going to come straight down, okay? Flare out a little bit, and then from this point, I'm just going to connect that point there. Okay, so now, if you imagine this thick line, it starts basically here, comes down, and then it kind of disappears behind that side. Same thing here, I'm going to do a double thick line, and then follow that along the bottom, just like so. Okay? Now, I think I'm missing a neck here, so let's go back in here. I'm going to draw just a curve like that, and a line across. So, okay, there's his neck, there's his shirt, there's the inside of his hood. So we're set there. Okay, now let's go into, so he's got this little thing that dangles down the middle. So I'm going to draw a line that goes straight down on both sides, just like that. Okay? I'll connect those 2 points. And then I'm going to draw 2 lines on either side, straight down. Right? The final bit are his legs. So on this side, I'm just going to do a half circle. Okay? And this side, I'm going to try to do a half circle, but that basically disappears behind this cloth. Okay? For the feet, I'm going to start right about here and come down in a curve. Alright? I'm going to curve the bottom of the foot. I'm going to curve the top of the foot. And then I'm going to come back and do an overlap and just connect that point. Okay, so that's a very basic foot. I'll do the exact same thing but mirrored on this side. So I'm going to do the bottom of the foot, top of the foot, and then I'll do an overlap to finish that off. And that's basically it. There we have it. There is the wizard hood set there. Okay, now let's go into, so he's got this little thing that dangles down the middle. So I'm going to draw a line that goes straight down on both sides, just like that. Bottom of the foot, I'm going to curve the top of the foot, and then I'm going to come back and do an overlap and just connect that point. Okay, so that's a very basic foot. I'll do the exact same thing but mirrored on this side. So I'm going to do the bottom of the foot, top of the foot, and then I'll do an overlap to finish that off. And that's basically it. There we have it. There is the wizard from Clash of Clans. Thanks for watching.